Okay, now we are back, and of course we have here the candidate Nada Asim and Professor Ashraf Uta. We are asking you, sir, to go ahead and discuss the candidates. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Ahmed.
Thank you.
Hello, Nada.
Hello, Dr. Ashraf.
We are very happy to have you with us
Thank you
today.
so much.
And actually, this is a very interesting topic. In fact,
Thank you.
personally, I like this topic, and I wish I could be a specialist in linguistics to extend or to develop, a research paper on code switching in or by sports commentators and fans, because I always watch football matches and I hear this code switching.
Yeah.
So I invite some of our researchers in linguistics to think about this. As Nada is going to talk about code switching in Egyptian doctors' interactions.
Yes.
Another researcher can do this, can talk about sports commentators and fans and so on. For example, يعني كتير جدا بنسمع يقول لك مثلا الايه الميس باص دي كتير قوي النهارده من محمد صلاح. الميس باص so here هو استخدم Arabic and English. يقول الجول كيبر نط على الكوره، طار على الكوره الجول كيبر، او مثلا يقول اللعبه دي dangerous play وكانت محتاجه طرد. So here we can use the comments by sports fans on Twitter, on Facebook, and so on, or we can talk about sports commentators عصام الشوالي وخلافه. الناس دي بتستخدم على طول الكود سويتشنج، فده ممكن يكون موضوع كويس يعني. انما Nada's topic about doctors is very interesting. Also, I like Nada's presentation, in fact, because it's very practical. She gives us a lot of practical examples to make clear for all of us. Well,
thank you.
Nada, if we move to the first paragraph, introduction, okay?
Yes.
Well, Nada, if we ask ourselves, why do we write extracts or quotations from sources? Why do we use reference books or what we call in-text citations? Why do we use quotations from text from other people's books? We use these texts, we use these quotations in order to support our ideas. I want to make a point. It's my own point, my own assumption or proposition. So I want to support it through references. So all the time, I'm against starting a proposal with quotations or with references like this. Here, Nada, you start the proposal with a quotation, one of the significant impacts of globalization, etc. This is a quotation. And the second sentence is another quotation. So where is Nada? Where is Nada, the researcher here? I haven't seen you until the second paragraph. So the first paragraph, all in all, is certain quotations from other reference. No, I want to see you يا ندى، عايزين نشوفك انت ونشوف وجهة نظرك في البداية. قولي لنا الاسامبشن.
Can I? Yes.
And after that you can support these assumptions through quotations. Do you want to comment on this?
Yes, please, Doctor. Thank you so much for your comment. But I did that because I think that I'm not qualified enough. I'm just at the start of the MA degree, so it's not supposed to say something from my mind or something. So it will be more stronger to use quotations from other researchers in order to support my research, because I'm just still at the start, at the beginning of my.
Nada, I'm sorry for the interruption.
Yes.
Sorry for the interruption.
No.
First of all, I would like you to open your camera, put on your camera.
Yes.
Right?
This of course.
And the second thing is, of course, the aim of this academic seminar is to listen to the professors giving you the remarks.
Of course.
And of course, Professor Ashraf is telling you a very clear, definite remark about you starting your discussion, by giving an introduction to the problem. طبعا انت you have in the third paragraph you did this, all right? So I'm sorry for the introduction, Professor Ashraf. Okay, okay, go ahead.
No problem. Okay, Nada, I want to say something for you. You are an excellent student. Okay,
Thank you so much.
Afraid. You should have self-confidence in self. ما ينفعش أقول إن أنا لا أصلا أنا لسه في الأول أنا لسه خايفة. Don't be afraid. You are an excellent student, really.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Okay,
I will take this into my consideration, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, Nada, also I think it has been better if you have extended your introduction a bit to give us more information about the background of the subject, to pave the way for talking about the doctor's interactions later on.
Yes.
The second paragraph, the last sentence, this is not a sentence. It's not a sentence. It's a fragment. We call it a fragment. It's not a complete sentence, just a dependent clause. Because it starts with while independent ثانية.
Yes, you're right, Doctor.
You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So,
you're right.
By the way, Professor Ashraf, by the way, all while sentences are fragments. By the way, I noticed this. All while sentences. I made a search on while, and all whiles are fragments.
You mean in this proposal?
Yeah. Except just one while was correct.
I'm sorry for that. It's a slip, and I'm going to correct this.
All your whiles.
Yes. Work on your
all your whiles. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for this.
This is okay. I think this is not a fully administered review of literature. We need to know more about previous studies, and basic studies I've mentioned here. I've mentioned just one medical study.
Yes.
So we need to know more and more about this field and these studies to clarify things and to take the discussion later on. Okay.
Okay. But can I comment here?
Okay, go ahead.
Of course, Doctor, you're right. You're absolutely right, of course. But the studies in this field is not so much, it's little. It's little. So I just pick the most efficient one. But I'm going to take your opinion, Doctor, in my consideration. But I pick the
are poor, Nada. If
influential.
the studies here are not much, as you say, are not. If these studies are not many, so it's a good chance for you to write them down, to give us, this is what we call, the research gap. Research gap. اللي انت عايزه تمليها to fill in this gap. ان ما حدش عمل الموضوع ده غير 3 or 4 studies. طيب لازم تعرفين مين عشان يبقى انت ليكي فرصه تقولي انا هعمل ايه جديد. طيب.
Okay, thank you so much.
So, significance of the study ده.
Yes. Okay, this study could be considered a significant addition to the field of linguistics as little studies. ما بحبش ابدا ان الطلاب الاندرجراديويت اصلا يغلطوا ويقولوا little studies و few water few
sugar وليتل books. لا يا ندى. Little is used with uncountable nouns. أقول little water, little sugar, and so on. إنما أقول few studies, few books, few people, few students. تمام. يبقى few and few طبعا أكيد فاهم. بس دي يعني
yes. It's a slip. I'm very sorry.
Okay. If we move to yes, generally speaking, Nada, what about your sample? Are you going to speak about doctors in general or seniors, juniors?
My sample analysis?
Yes, I'm talking about the sample. Yes,
yes.
The sample of doctors. Yeah, I think it's better to be definite, to say,
yes.
you know, which field of medicine are you going to talk? You know, surgery, for example, dentistry,
yes.
or what? Also, what about, you know, the seniors, juniors? Are all of them seniors, juniors, or a mix, or what? يعني لازم السامبل تكون متحدده وواضحه وما نسيبش الامور ايه برود او عايمه كده يعني. تمام.
Okay.
Well, as for chapterization, yes.
Can I
mention this? But you mentioned here the
chapterizations? Yes. Can I mention something, Doctor? Can I comment?
Okay.
I'm going to speak about doctors who deal in human doctor بشري يعني بشريين.
Okay, تمام. ما هو
not dentists or something.
Yeah, Nada, we call them physicians. We call them physicians.
Physicians, yes. I'm going to talk about physicians, yes.
ودي حاجة تانية بروف أحمد كنت عايز أقولها لندى أو أقترح أو أشوف رأي الناس إيه. هل يا ترى نقول physicians ونشيل doctors؟ لأن كلمة دكتور فيها ambiguity شوية، ولا دكتور يعني معروفة بالضرورة، معلومة بالضرورة، ولا إيه؟
وبعد إذنك يا دكتور رائف، يا دكتور أشرف، بالنسبة للسامبل حضرتك كاتبة إن هي تبقى conversations, listening to conversations and reading conversations. دي مشكلة.
Yeah.
يعني I think you need to go to the medical conferences. You know, medical conferences, certain medical conferences يعني بيعينوا كده conference معين or 2 or 3 conferences, and you can find the data, and you can actually find the recordings of the conference, and you can depend on this. Yes, okay, go ahead.
هو بروف أحمد يعني استني يا ندى بعد إذنك. هو ممكن يا دكتور أحمد ندى هنا مش عايز تستخدم الفورمال discourse، هي عايزة تستخدم everyday language for the doctor.
سوري أنا ما سمعتش تاني، معلش pardon.
بقول ان ربما يكون هو الهدف هنا بالنسبه لندى ان هي عايزه تستخدم everyday language of doctors، يعني مش قصدها الفورمال language mentioned in conferences، وبالتالي ممكن هدفها يكون مختلف عن اللي حضرتك حالا قلته دلوقتي. وحسب الهدف وحسب نيتها ايه، هي عايزه تعمل ايه.
ما هو هنا يبقى في عندنا مشكله صغيره، ان احنا عندنا السامبل او هيبقى عندنا الاناليسيس هنا هتبقى مبنيه ايه الماتيريال اللي انا هشتغل عليه. يعني انا هتبقى اوديو، هتبقى ريكوردد ماتيريال، هتبقى ايه بالظبط؟
تبقى فيسبوك تشاتس.
وبعدين هو الكلام كمان يعني as much as I understood, we are depending on the conversations, the oral conversations between the physicians, and how they make the code switching, even if, or even when they are speaking to patients, sometimes they make this code switching in order to avoid, you know, embarrassing the patient or to shun a certain information, to keep a certain information from him. So the problem is still there. What is the material that you are going to depend on in your study? Thank you.
Can I comment? Can I comment, please? Okay. My material will be from many sources. Facebook groups, Facebook pages, which is read material, and also audible material, because I have lots of family members who are working as physicians. So it's easy to access medical courses, YouTube medical courses, YouTube videos, a lot of material is accessible to me, whether read or audible, like courses or Facebook pages and or Twitter and so on.
Well, Dr. Ahmed, I think Dr. Abdullah and Dr. Reham can tell us if this is acceptable or not to mix between different genres, you know, between the audio, the conversations, the oral conversations, as well as the written material, Facebook accounts, YouTube, and so on. I think it depends on them to tell us if this is possible or not.
هو الحقيقة على هنا من فيسبوك اند تويتر، وكمان التعليقات اللي بتتكتب على الفيديوز اللي موجودة في الحاجات الطبية. يعني في بعض الدكاترة بيعملوا تعليقات مع بعضهم، هي شغالة على دكتور ريليشن شيب.
طب يعني
شغالة على دكتور بيشنت او دكتور نيرس، هي شغالة على دكتور ريليشن شيب، فعشان كده هي شغالة على الموضوعات الكوميونيكاتيف سايتس اللي هي على السوشيال ميديا، فيسبوك، تويتر، او على الكومنتس اللي بتبقى على الفيديوز اكتر من الفيديوز نفسها. هي الفيديوز هي هتسمعها ده لمجرد انها تعرف الكونتنت نفسه، انما هي تحليلها الاصلي مش هيكون على الليسننج، هيكون على الرايتنج بتاعها، الريتن كومنتس نفسها، عشان تقدر تبني الكوربس بتاعها.
That's what I meant.
Focus on the written
yes. Yes.
هو
إن شاء الله.
هو بعد إذن حضراتكم يعني دكتور ريهام، دكتور أشرف، and the title here of the thesis is online interactions, يعني the doctor's online interactions. This, you know, interactions here is very broad, very ambiguous. You need to be very clear.
Sorry, Dr. Ahmed, it means all types of interactions. In Facebook and Twitter, we have comments, we have shares, we have all types of interactions. I cannot say comments, I cannot say share, I cannot say something like that, because there are a lot of actions are taken on Facebook and the Twitters. So all types of interactions. And this will be limited later on in the limitation of the thesis itself, inshallah.
So is this going to include the oral conversations?
No, I don't like that. It's not easy to include the oral conversation. She only will focus on written communication in social media and on comments on videos. That's all.
As long as we say interactions is actually general. So it includes the oral and the written.
Yes, it includes the oral and written, but she will limit her work to written.
So this needs to be clear in the title. This needs to be clarified in the title.
Yes, it's online interaction. It's broad, yes, but it's going to be limited inside the thesis itself.
Yeah. The problem is if I say online interaction, right now we have an online interactive meeting right now. So yes. This is oral, this is audio, this is video, right? Sometimes it is written. All of these are interactions. So yes. If you are going to deal with the written texts, you need to focus on this idea. You need to clarify this in the title. Okay, back to you.
It will be so limited. If she limited it in the title, it will be so limited. And in this case, she will not be able to analyze the comments on videos. And maybe she will be helped by the text of the video itself.
We are now going to define, is it going to include oral conversations or not? Video conversations.
By this moment, she will not include oral conversation.
So we need to define this in the title. Yeah.
I don't think so. It will be so limited if we define it in the title. And we have the option to limit it inside the thesis itself. So we should have some freedom.
You can have some freedom, of course, but you need to tell the reader, right? that you are dealing with what kind of...
That's what we are going to do by the limitation inside the thesis. We will limit it inside the thesis. We will limit our work to the written chats or written comments or whatever, as long as she will work.
Well, I think...
And just the comments on the videos. Comments, no more.
Okay, so
comments, posts.
It is all written. It is all written. So why not you define it with the word written interactions? Written, all right? Not oral, because you are not actually dealing with the oral at all. So Dr. Abdullah, we are going to come to you, all right? But after Dr. Ashraf finishes his comment. Dr. Ashraf, back to you.
Okay, I had already finished. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Nada, for your...
Thank you, doctor. Thank you for your comments.
Dr. Ashraf, are you done?
Yes, Dr. Ahmed, I'm done.
Okay, what do you think about the interactions? Should we just leave it as broad as it is written in the title?
Well, you know, I think, you know, we still need more discussions about this. For example, why don't we specify if it is Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, or what? For example, we can say doctors' Facebook interactions. And in this way, it can include all kinds of online Facebook interactions, like oral or written. If Dr. Raham wants to include later on, she wants to leave the space for online, for oral or video discussions later on. So we can say, for example, doctors' Facebook and Twitter interactions, if we can say something like that.
So again, just like Professor Ashraf says, the problem here has to do with, you know, limiting the scope. I mean, because the word interaction is a little bit, you know, ambiguous. What kind of interactions? Because you have here a problem with online interactions. Online here includes every kind of interaction, like written, oral, video, audio, right? All of these are online. So you need to, you know, to define what kind of interaction. And by the way, there is no problem at all, you know, if you depend on the video, you know, recordings, because, you know, this is actually acceptable. It's no problem with it. But the whole thing is, you need to define your own approach. I mean, the scope of your study. The title is very important. This must be very clear right from the beginning, okay? So you need to define what kind of interaction. Is it written or not? Okay, now I'm done.
Okay.
Who else would like to?
Thank you.
Yeah. Dr. Abdullah, would you like to join us?
Yes. طبعا hi everybody. Hi Nada. طبعا
Hello, doctor.
Your topic, you know, is enjoyable, by the way. But I have just a few remarks in your title here. Your title, a corpus-based study of code switching in Egyptian doctors' online interactions. يعني, generally speaking, you have linguistic study. So you have topic, then you have theory, approach to apply. Okay? So your application, you need data corpus. Data.
Yes.
This is corpus. So yes, I think you don't need to write a corpus-based. Why you say a corpus-based study? Your study is based upon corpus.
Yes.
It's a question. Why you mention corpus in the title itself? You don't need it.
Yes.
You don't need it. You have. If you want to share, okay, I'm listening to you.
Yes. I mentioned the word corpus because I think this is the major achievement of my study, because I saw before that there is a British corpus for doctors in the UK. So I asked myself, why don't I contribute by building a corpus for Egyptians?